Hey everybody, today we are going to rip apart this 2004 5.3 liter flex fuel engine. I do believe it's considered a L59 LS small block 5.3 flex fuel. G Junior is over here draining the oil out. This came out of a 2004 Tahoe, so let me give you a little backstory. It had no oil pressure. So first thing we did is we took the front of the motor apart, we put an oil pump in it. Still had no oil pressure. So then we thought maybe the pickup was clogged. So we pulled the oil pan off, put a pickup on it, and didn't put it all the way back together to see if it had oil pressure, and it still did not have oil pressure. It's been sitting around here for months. We are going to take it apart and figure out why it has no oil pressure. It's something inside had to happen mechanically. A bearing spun, or maybe this piece here clogged up. We don't know, but the motor ran great. It had no oil pressure, and it never started knocking because he stopped driving it before it started knocking. So this is the motor plate actually that I got on Amazon to get the motor out. This thing rocks. So if you ever need to get a motor plate to lift them, you can get these at Amazon. Here is the drain plug, and I guess the motor is slowly destroying itself because look at all the metal on the magnet on the drain plug. What a shame. Here, G.
Stick this back in.
So we're draining the oil on it. Of course, the oil is spotless because it's brand new oil. The truck, I said, the truck ran really, really good. So we're gonna start busting it down. Where do you think we should start? Take the oil pan off, or should we pull the heads?
Let's pull the valve covers.
Let's pull the valve covers. Alrighty, we're gonna get some tools wrapped up here and start pulling this engine down. I guess we're going to start with taking the valve covers off. It's an 8mm. This motor has over 200,000 miles on it. So yeah, you can see right here, well, it's been sitting for a while, but it's clean. It is clean in here. Go ahead and bust the other one off. The motor ran great. It's just that it had no oil pressure. So then we'll come back and we'll pop all the rockers loose so we can get to the head bolts. Intake manifold's already off. How's the side look? Same?
Yeah, about the same.
About the same? Yeah, it's clean. For 200,000 miles, wow, super clean. It just has no oil pressure. All right, so we got that apart. So we need to get a 10 and get the steam line off. Try not to break that, we'll keep that. And we'll start taking the head bolts out. No, he's already got the 10. Okay, and you cannot run a car. The LS engine has to have this. You can't just cap it off like the back one's capped off. You have to have this. All right. We need a box. Do we have a box? Put the bolts back in. Put the bolts back in the head. Do we have a box to start putting parts in?
I'm gonna have to look.
Okay. All right, well, we're gonna get some more tools rounded up for the taking off the cylinder heads. We'll be back. All right, now we're taking the rocker arms off. They are an 8mm. Everything's, they feel, the rocker feels, see, this is a roller. See, it's got a roller in there. That feels good. Here, move that back and forth. Does that feel good? And back this way. Yeah, it feels good. All the rocker arms, here. Yeah, that's not the reason why it had no oil pressure, I'll tell you that right now. Now, There's a problem there. Here, this push rod. See how rounded this push rod is? That looks very good and rounded. But this push rod here, it's see how it's kind of oblong? It's been wearing there unevenly. So one of those rockers is bad. Of course, we already put them back in there and we don't know which one. And here's another one too. Here's another one. It's got some wear. So there's a couple of rocker arms on this side that are no good. Let's go ahead and pull these all out. So probably have a couple rocker arms that are no good. Up, and here's another one. They probably weren't getting oil, so they started to wear. All right, let's bust the other side loose. Let's take this side a little apart a little slower. I didn't think we'd see that type of wear. All right, so let's take a look here. Okay, yeah, see? So this one's got wear. Let's set that there. Let's see if this one's got wear. So obviously, if the push rod has wear, that is going to have wear. So yeah, you probably should not reuse these rockers. Let's see. You know, a lot of miles, over 200,000 miles on this, so yeah, and they've all got wear, you know, so I guess that's just something that happens with these. You know, that one's worn, that one
looks pretty bad.
Yeah. All right, go ahead and drop all that stuff into the barrel there. So 200,000 miles, has some push rod wear and a little bit of rocker arm wear. You can't really complain about that at all. But we're saving all the parts for now. They're probably just going to go to the metal yard. All right. So, all right. Now we're going to need. You're going to have to go get the big impact.
Okay.
You're going to have to get the big impact, and we're going to have to bust these down. I don't know what's here, and here this can come off. Same thing on the other side. Do you have the 10 out still? Okay, those are 10s, so we can bust those out, and then I think these are 15s. So let's go ahead and we'll start pulling the heads next. All right, we're gonna start popping the heads off here. We got to dig out the dirt here. Of course, you know, we don't care about being sanitary with this engine because it's got to come completely apart. It's probably, there's a newer machine shop around that we've been given some stuff to that we've had hanging around. Cylinder heads, they've been rebuilding and getting practice because the one guy is a Army veteran and he's getting into doing cylinder head work. All right, go ahead and start somewhere. You want to do the 15s first, the 10s?
Do the 15s.
Actually, I'm not sure on. Sometimes you're supposed to disassemble the motor on a certain thing. Go ahead, let's do the 10s first, and then we'll come back and do the small ones. I mean, the other ones. We're going to do the small ones first.
No, this isn't the way. I'm going to have to.
All right, we'll get that out of there.
I guess I can take the screw out.
Yeah, probably go on the other side too. Just go ahead and throw those in the bucket. It's all, this is all valve train head stuff. All right, so go ahead and pull out all those bolts and let's put them in the bucket there.
Not very big.
No, it's not. It's yeah, it's the way it's designed. All right. So are the other ones 15s, like I said? Yep, they seem like they're 15s. let's start in the center and kind of take it apart like you would if you were torquing the cylinder head. Oh, we are going to have to move this out of here. Let's go ahead and do the other cylinder head first. We're going to have to, when we put,
on this side.
yeah, when we took the, no, we're bolted to the cylinder head there. We have the engine stand bolted to the cylinder head, so we're going to have to move that around. These things are kind of weird that this is one of the, it doesn't have a bolt hole up here. So the transmission bolts here and here. There's no bolt hole here. Like this one has one here. So it's kind of strange to me that it's missing a bolt hole. Leaking. Yeah, or probably coolant or leaking coolant. That's why we put the cardboard down. Hopefully the cardboard will grab it.
That bolt looked warped.
All right. Let's take a look here. All right. That is probably because it's been sitting, but anyway. So this cylinder here is what you want to kind of see. You want to see a light colored exhaust valve like that. It does have a lot of miles. This actually, I would not complain about this at all. The valves are all intact. This one looks like it's up a little bit more than these, so these are probably worn a little bit.
So let's see, do they spin?
You're not gonna be able to spin them with the, no, actually it looks pretty good in here. I think that looks pretty good. For 200,000 miles, this looks pretty good. You know, these two exhaust valves look excellent. These are a little bit darker, but you know, for 200,000 miles, I would not complain about this at all. These are gonna be a great set of cylinder heads for somebody to rebuild. So let's take a look at the pistons while we're here. Okay, okay, to get in here, there is a, you have to pull the head gasket off, and then this is the lifter holder, and that's what holds the lifters in. So when you have to change lifters on one of these motors, you have to pull the cylinder heads. Pistons. Pistons look very good.
Yes, yeah.
You know something? There's not even like a ring groove at the top of the cylinders where you could probably re-ring this and put it right back together. There's the head gasket, a multi-metal head gasket. Yeah, there's tons of coolant in here. We're gonna make a mess when we take and turn this thing over. Maybe we'll get the sucker out and we'll suck the coolant out. But to get the lifters out, you have to take this 10mm bolt out, and then this carrier comes out, and then you can get the lifters out. I don't know if we're gonna go that far pulling the lifters out or not, but we're definitely gonna get the our sucker. We're gonna suck this antifreeze out to try to minimize the mess we make in this bay. And now we're also gonna have to move this point that we have this bolted to the head. We're gonna have to move this up to here. So we're gonna go ahead and move this up to here, and we'll come back. Alrighty, well, I tried to move this to another hole, and the problem with that is we must have the head too far over this way, and this won't reach that hole or that hole. But we're slowly getting the engine lighter and lighter. So here's all the head bolts. So G Junior now is using the vacuum out some of the coolant so we don't make too much of a mess. Here, I'm going to tilt it a little bit your way before it leaks out. See, we're leaking coolant out. Thank God for cardboard, huh? And I wonder if the tops, I didn't really look. The tops of the valves, this valve definitely looks like it has a little bit of wear here. But still, over 200,000 miles, can't complain. You know, what a great engine. These are great engines except for the camshaft lifter kicks they have, and that the newer ones with the
Cylinder deactivate.
yeah, the cylinder deactivate, yeah, however you say it. Those motors are having all sorts of problems. Why don't you go ahead and let's lift.
Huh?
Let's lift this cylinder head off. You get it all out as much as you can. But let me have the hose. Why don't you come over here and lift this cylinder head off, and I'll put this in and start sucking the coolant out on this side. Just go ahead, pull it on up, and set it up there so we can take a look at it. It's all right. We'll start sucking this coolant out of here. Okay, then here we go again. See, we have nice, you know, dry exhaust valves. That valve looks pretty good. That valve, you know, that valve's a little bit burnt, but it looks good. You know, this motor really looks good inside. All right, just go ahead and set that over there. So we're going to suck the coolant out, and then we're going to turn the motor upside down to get the oil pan off and start disconnecting some of the rods and see if we can figure out if it spun a bearing, why it has no oil pressure. Did the block crack? We have no idea. Oh, and on this side here, the pistons look good, you know, no lip. Really unbelievable that they have, is it the way they're designed? Yeah, you can see where the piston comes. There's still cross hatching in here. There's still cross hatches in the cylinders. Wow, what an engine. What a great motor. I'm a Ford guy, but I'll tell you what, these 5.3 6-liter LSs that do not have the cylinder kill, these are fabulous engines. I understand why everybody is doing the swaps on them, engine swaps on them, even though you got to run a computer because there's no distributor. Yeah, grab it. All right, we're going to tilt the engine a little bit, just out of the way. We're going to tilt the engine. Trying to make sure I got all the, trying not to make a big mess. You know, it stinks to make a big mess and you have to clean up. Looks like we've got everything that's hit the cardboard so far. Oh, great. Look at this. We had the bolt was too long, so we had to use a longer bolt, so I'm not going to be able to turn the motor over all the way. So I guess what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get moving. No?
No.
All right, we're going to have to, somebody's going to have to lift up on this end so we can slide the engine out a little bit to rotate it over. We'll let you miss that part. All right, we got the motor flipped over from the little snafu of too long a bolts and some bolt adapters. So G Junior is busting the pan loose.
These two?
Yeah, those two also. They're 10s, aren't they? Yeah, I think they're all 10s.
They're 8s. They look like an 8.
No, they're all 10s. Okay, you're gonna have to pull this plastic shield off here, so it's a 10 that way. Yeah, that's so bad. I guess we'll bust it all loose. right, here, throw the bolts in there. Oil pan alignment and torque critical. See service manual. All right, I got this. Yeah, throw that in there. All right, the pan should just lift off. Yeah. Go ahead and lift the pan off. Flip it over, it's leaking oil out. Okay, there we go. Oh, we got a lot of metal shavings. Yeah, we got metal shavings. We've got some metal shavings.
Oh, looks like that's all gummed up.
What,
the
that?
oil filter housing is. The 2 holes. Looks like there's a bunch of stuff.
Looks all right. Yeah, we got some metal. We got, or no, is that metal? No, that's just where casting flaws. But it does look like there's some metal down there. All right, go set that in. So set that down. As you can see, it's got a brand new pickup. If I put a brand new pickup in it, thinking that was the problem, we're gonna need a 13 and you're gonna need a 10. We'll get the pickup off of here and we'll get this windage tray out of here and we'll see if we can figure out what's going on with it. When I had the front cover off, we haven't pulled that off yet. The timing chain, you know, if I remember right, looked pretty good. Yeah, did you get a 10 too? We need a 10 for this.
I got a D.
Yeah.
This thing?
Yeah.
Alright.
Now see, now that's what makes putting the oil pump on these a pain in the butt if you're trying just to do it, is you have one bolt here that it's very hard to get to. You take the front cover off and then the oil pump is there and then you've got to take this out and it's very difficult to do. You have to take and pull the oil pan off usually. Have that. Go ahead, let's get this, here, get this one off and then this one off. We'll pull the pickup out. Pull it here. Yeah, and there's the O-ring. So a lot of times what happens is this O-ring, so you can see that I put Sly Glide on it and it hasn't even come off yet to make sure it fit in here good. So definitely was not the O-ring. People complain that these O-rings break. That was not the problem of this engine not having oil pressure. All right, go ahead, keep going. Now we're down to it. Let's set this over here with the heads. So here we are. There are the rod caps. Here are the main caps here. As you see, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mains. And this is kind of built like the, I do believe it's the FE, Ford FE engine. There's a bolt that comes through here, and then bolts that go down through here that holds the mains in. Oh, my hand is all oily. So there's the backside of the pistons full of oil. There's the camshaft way down in there, the shiny pieces. Oh man, the cross hatching of the cylinders is just beautiful. Just beautiful on this motor. And here's your reluctor wheels for the timing. What do you got, a 13?
Yeah.
Here, go ahead and let's bust these two caps loose.
Are there 13s?
I don't know. Are they 12? They might be 12s. All right, well, go get a 12, please. Oh, wait, you need something before you do that? Let's, or hold the camera for a second. Let's see, can I, yeah, see how nicely the engine spins over? So do you see anything
Loose?
Yeah, loose, like, now that's got play back and forward, but that's not concerned about that. I'm worried about up and down play. No. Just side to side play. I don't know. I still don't know.
I think that doesn't sound good.
You know, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know. This block must be broken someplace. Here, get a shot of the pistons down here. So that's what the pistons look like when they're moving around in your car.
Got plenty of oil.
Yeah, you know. All right, well, I don't see, like I said, I still don't see anything wrong. I do not know why this motor had no oil pressure. It makes no sense. All right, here, let's, I'll take that back from you. Go ahead and like take those bolts out of those caps and let's take a look. And let's look at the bearings. What is it, not a 12? Is it an 11? Maybe it's an 11. Never had one of these apart before. Might be 11.
Yeah, it's an 11.
It's 11, okay.
Okay, do that.
Wow, look at that bearing. That bearing's beautiful. You know, it hasn't wore the Babbitt through yet. That bearing's just awesome. Look at here, hold the here, just.
It's dirty.
Yeah, wipe your hands off for a second. We're gonna go ahead and pop this piston out. Man, everything slides apart so nicely. Here.
Okay, I'm back.
All right. We're gonna just go ahead and
Push it out.
yeah, I'm trying to push out. Even that bearing in there, I can see looks very nice.
You see down in there? Yeah, I guess
that bearing looks excellent. Let me see. Of course, it's full of oil.
That'll work.
Alright, so, and even this bearing, you know,
get closer.
it looks really good. You know, it looks like maybe some light scratching, but not bad at all. So I do believe that these two go together like this. The rings are all free, looking good. The pistons had like this coating on there. The coating's worn off, but I'm not too concerned about that. I really don't see anything wrong with this rod or the bearing, and I don't see anything wrong. Now I do see something wrong. Is why is this bolt not threading in right? I wonder if these Ford came out with these engines. See how that is at an angle.
Yeah.
And the other side's at a different angle. I wonder if these are the ones that Ford had them, that they actually crack them so that it makes them stronger. Man, there's something wrong here with this one rod bolt going back in, but I'm not gonna worry about that. Should I number these, or should I even worry about it?
I don't know. That's up to you.
Yeah, I don't see any numbers on them. 143, but I don't see any numbers. You know, most likely you're going to end up with new pistons and rods anyway if somebody's going to rebuild this. So we're not going to be too worried about that. Where's the impact? Go ahead and get the impact. Let's get this other side out next. I can get it. That bearing came out. Sorry, bearing came out. Another fairly good looking bearing. Just here, let me show you something here. Grab the camera again. I don't think the bolts are going to fall. To put the bearings in, you have that little notch there. That's what basically holds the bearing in. You do not want to put any type of lubricant between here and the cap. And then the way my dad taught me to do it is you start here and you rotate them around. You do not force them in to create anything, and now it slides right back in. So there's a little bit of scratching, but it doesn't look bad. All right. You want to grab that piston as it comes out. Other side. Ready?
Yeah. Oh,
you did a good job catching that piston.
I did.
Rings all free. Yeah. No side. Yeah. No problem. That looks pretty good. Yeah, it looks pretty dry here though. Let's look at that bearing. Bearing looks pretty good. All right, put the cap on. Let's just keep going. All right, well, I'm down to 26% battery life on this camera. I'm worried that we're gonna run out of power. We're gonna go ahead and get the rest of the pistons out, and we'll come back. And if there's any problems with them that we obviously see, we will let you know. Okay, G Junior is continuing breaking this motor down. We're doing the main caps right now. All the pistons look good. All the bearings look relatively good. And like I was saying earlier, I do believe that these are the rods that are made in one piece, and they must score them, and then they crack the rods because all of the rods are cracked like at a little bit of a different place, and the way they're angled and stuff is always a little bit different. So Ford was doing that. I guess General Motors is doing that.
But I gotta take these out?
Yeah, you got to take all the bolts out. I don't know how much farther we're going to go with this. I don't know if we're going to take out the back main because we have to take the back cover off, I think. Maybe not. I'm not sure on this motor. But he's getting it slowly but surely. Thank God for cardboard. All right, will they move or not? Sometimes what you gotta do is you gotta pull the rods up and rock the rods back and forth. I don't think they're gonna come out that way. It looks like we're gonna, pull all the bolts out. We're gonna have to get a pry tool, and I think we're gonna have to go through this hole here and pry up on both sides. All right, so we had to come in with a pry bar through here. Let's take a look at this one main bearing. Still, once again, it looks pretty good. What is that? Oh, there's a little piece of metal on that bearing, but it didn't spin. All right, try to get that one up.
Bang on it. There you go.
You know, it's once again bearing. You know, it's got a little bit of play, but not bad. The crank looks okay. All right. Go this way. All right, go ahead and get this one. All right. Once again, bearing looks okay, not spun. I don't know if you're going to be able to get this one out or not. Now go back to the other side. Oh no! I stepped in oil. No! All right, here, try it again. Yeah, that one's in there. All right, let's try the back one. What about the back one? Can we get the here? Let's. I don't know if the back one's. Hold on, before you do that, hold on. Pull out. We're gonna have to. Okay, pull that piece of bearing out. Pull that bearing out. All right, now try prying on the back one. I don't know if the back one will come out with the rear cover on. I have no idea.
No, it's not quite.
Well,
Color in the way.
all right, well, I'll tell you what, I don't think it's got any spun bearings. We have no idea why this motor lost oil pressure and had no oil pressure, but it was definitely, all the lifters started tapping like it had no oil pressure. We did an oil pressure test on it. It had no oil pressure. We got a junkyard engine, put the junkyard engine in. The junkyard engine had oil pressure and it's still running.
That's a crank sensor.
Yeah, it's a crank sensor.
Yeah,
and the way how easily this motor rolled over, you can tell that nothing had spun. So I think we're going to leave this at here. I would not trust this short block. This short block is going straight to the metal yard. I don't want anybody using it because it had no oil pressure. Now the cylinder heads, that's another story. The cylinder heads all look good. They can probably be rebuilt and used without any problem. If anybody needs a set of cylinder heads for 5.3, this is a flex fuel, and they are 862s. That's an 862. And where is this number on this one? 862. If anybody wants a set of cylinder heads, cheap, 862 casting numbers, you can find my email address in the description. So I think we're going to leave this one here. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching. You have anything to add, G Junior?
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe. Alrighty, you can always do that in that corner right there. Please give me a thumbs up if you like my automotive videos.